I just don't know what to say. Disappointed is not even the word. Angry is not even the word. I can't even put words to it. It's just, we just can't let that happen. You know what I'm saying? There's some games in the NBA, you know what I'm saying, or across any professional league that you just cannot allow. Like, there's just certain stuff in the game that you just can't allow to happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of those things. 22 points. 22-point lead with 7 minutes left. And we find a way to lose? I can't even put words to it. But one thing I will say is, you know what I'm saying, watching this game, there is, you know, it wasn't one of those losses where it feels like you've done everything right and you couldn't do no more and you just end up losing the game. It was one of those games where it's like, you wasn't playing your best, but for some reason, you were still getting by. You know, there's lessons to be taken away from this game that we can apply the next game. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely glaring adjustments that need to be made, you know, from this game that we need to apply for the rest of the series. But one thing I will say, just to take some pros away from it, the fact that we even got to a 22-point lead where we wasn't even at our best. You know what I'm saying? James Harden shooting 5 for 16. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna cut it. Now I know, you know, he has a long history of not showing up in the playoffs, but so far this playoffs, of course, if you look at the stats, you know, he's probably having one of the worst runs of his career. But for the most part, this team has been, you know, a good, you know, bounce back team. You know what I'm saying? Not letting the current situation affect the future situation. You know what I'm saying? We've been in this situation before. You know what I'm saying? Being down 2-0 to Detroit. Now Detroit is a different team than the Knicks. But, you know what I'm saying? If anything, Detroit might be more of a, you know, physically dominating team than the Knicks are. If we can come back from 2-0, we can come back from this. Like, this is, like Donovan Mitchell said, if we lost by 40, if we lost by 1, if we lost by 5, it would have still been 1-0. You know what I'm saying? Or 0-1, however you want to put it. But, like I said, it's just certain stuff that shouldn't be happening. And one of those things is losing a 22-point lead. And this is just one of those things where everybody but Donovan Mitchell should be the one to blame. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, the fact that we went from having a 22-point lead to a 5-point lead without a timeout being called. You know what I'm saying? Without an adjustment being made of James Harden, taking James Harden off of Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? There's only so many points that should be scored for you to realize that James Harden cannot guard Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? And James Harden, he's always had a narrative of being a bad defender. But one thing I will say, he's definitely had trouble with, you know what I'm saying, playing against quick guards. Now, when it comes to, you know, guards that like to out-muscle people, bigger guards, or if you take James Harden head on, you're not going to win that battle too many times. But where James Harden struggles as a defender is when it comes to guarding quicker guards and having the lateral quickness and, you know, being able to stay in front. And Jalen Brunson might be the best in the league at, you know what I'm saying, taking those quick angles, taking those weird angles to, you know, using your leverage against you. You know what I'm saying? Just being a quick guard. And the fact that the adjustment didn't happen until, you know what I'm saying, when the Knicks were up 6, where they finally took James Harden off of Brunson and put Strus on Brunson, which is a way better matchup. You know what I'm saying? That's just another point that we need to pick up on and make a quick adjustment. You know what I'm saying? The game plan for game 2 and so on should be, do not let James Harden near Jalen Brunson ever again. And if it does happen, send the double team immediately. Send the National Guard immediately. You know what I'm saying? Stuff. I should never see James Harden on Jalen Brunson again, one-on-one. It should never happen. The man just can't guard him. It's simple as that. It's just some players you just can't. It's not a good matchup. That's one of them. You know what I'm saying? And another thing is Jarrett Allen not being aggressive. You know what I'm saying? 10 points in 35 minutes. It's another thing that's just not going to cut it. You know what I'm saying? And it's the fact that he has the potential to be a double-double machine. You know what I'm saying? He should be grabbing 15 and 10 every game. Like, it should be those type of games. But for some reason, he has points where he's just not aggressive. And it's like, when he is aggressive, we win. You know what I'm saying? Or we look like a more complete team when he's aggressive and he's attacking the basket and he's controlling the glass. Even if he's not physically grabbing a rebound, he has the potential to affect the offensive glass or the defensive glass and really just control the game with his rebound. And another thing is, I've seen a lot of people saying that Evan Mobley needs to stop shooting, but I actually like the way that he's being aggressive because it's making the defense think more. You know what I'm saying? Instead of playing into the favor of the defense and not really making them have to make a decision every time you get a wide open shot, you're making the defense have to make a decision. Should I keep letting him shoot and get a rhythm, or should I, you know what I'm saying, step up? Not saying that everybody has to score 20, but I do think that if Donovan Mitchell is the only one that's consistently showing up, it's going to have to be somewhere. Like, we can't have that instances where Donovan Mitchell is just a one-man army. You know what I'm saying? He might give us 1 to 2 games where he just goes crazy and we just let him work. But it shouldn't be a consistent thing of having to let Donovan Mitchell score 40 to give us a chance. You know what I'm saying? And I think we fell into that trap, you know what I'm saying, the past 3-4 years with Donovan Mitchell, where we were just letting him be this one-man army and really nobody else stepping up and really, you know, picking up some of the slack. You know what I'm saying? We just can't have instances where Donovan Mitchell is just being a one-man army. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to have to step up. And in this case, like I said, James Harden, he's supposed to be that answer. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying he need to drop 50 or, you know what I'm saying, or he needs to get back to 2018 prime James Harden, because at this point in his career, it's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You might see flashes of it, but for the most part, it's not going to happen. But I do think he just needs to be more effective. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, him being aggressive, just him putting more pressure on the defense, him driving more. It's a weird type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Because there is times where James Harden, he is, you know, aggressive and he puts pressure on the defense, continues to drive the ball, draw fouls, and things like that. But then there's also instances where he gets into that pass first mode to where, you know what I'm saying, you'll forget that he's even on the court. James Harden, he just needs to use his foul baiting more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he realized, but he has the advantage of drawing fouls. You know what I'm saying? Even if you get into the free throw line, I'm not saying you got to hit the step back every time, but at least try to get to the line. You know what I'm saying? You basically built a career off of the refs favoring you. You know what I'm saying? You have a different type of whistle than everybody else. Just you being tapped just a little bit, people, they're going to call a foul. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, just him being more in attack mode, driving more. You know what I'm saying? Not settling for threes. You know what I'm saying? Driving more, attacking the rim a lot more. Because then it draws the attention of the defense. Now the defense has to, you know what I'm saying, compact to you, and it opens up the game for people like Strus and Morrell, and even players like Donovan Mitchell, or even players like Mobley. It just opens up the game a lot more for everybody around him. You know what I'm saying? So him being aggressive, Jarrett Allen being aggressive, and I think Mobley, he needs to continuously be in that mode of being aggressive, because I like the way that he was aggressive tonight. Basically, if they're leaving you open, shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know a lot of people say, or they might say, oh, he's missing them, he's not making them, and it's hurting the offense. But, you know what I'm saying? there's going to be stretches where you don't make anything. You know what I'm saying? But you have to stay with it. You know what I'm saying? Shooter shoot. He's not really a shooter, but if it's open, shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Make the defense have to make a decision, because when you stop shooting, now you're playing in favor of the defense. You're helping the defense out. You know what I'm saying? And eventually they're gonna fall, because I'm sure that he works on his shot. I'm sure he works on his shot, because his rookie season up to now, he wasn't shooting as much threes. You know what I'm saying? And this is pretty much his first year of him really taking that step of, if you leave me open, I'm shooting it. You know what I'm saying? Stick with that aggressiveness, because when it hit, you know, it opens up the game a lot more for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you have, you know what I'm saying, two players like James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, who are drive that somebody like Jarrett Allen, who's not really a perimeter type player. He likes to do his work in the post and in the paint area. It just opens the game up for everybody. It's just points within this game that we can pick up on and translate it into game 2. Like the fact that we even got a 21-point lead and not playing our best basketball, it says something. Now what we need to do is, when we get in situations like that again, is make the adjustment quick and make it now. We don't need to wait until Jalen Brunson scored 11 in a row to make an adjustment, or wait till he scored 11 in a row to call a timeout. At that point, he's already in rhythm. He's already feeling the game. He's already, you know what I'm saying, figured it out. He's already figured out the matchup. And he's one of them players that you have to stop him before he gets going. Because once he gets going, it ain't too many players that's going to stop him. Because he makes every shot that he needs to make, especially in clutch time. It's not one of them games where everything went wrong. I mean, to lose a 22-point game, everything has to go wrong. But it's one of those things where if we make these adjustments, this won't happen. You know what I'm saying? It's not one of them games where we played excellent, but they just played even more excellent. You know what I'm saying? And there's not many adjustments. There's a lot of adjustments that need to be made within this game. And I think most of it revolves around just players being more aggressive. Jarrett Allen being aggressive on the boards. You know what I'm saying? Playing 35 minutes. A player of his caliber only having 10 points and 7 rebounds? You know what I'm saying? Dean Wade, you were having the same amount of points as Dean Wade, and he played less minutes than you. That should not cut it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I think you just need to continue with the game plan, but everybody just need to, you know what I'm saying, stick with it. You know what I'm saying? Even the head coach, even Kenny Atkinson, everybody just needs to stick with this game plan. And just make the adjustments when they need to be made. That's pretty much it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video. I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Do those 3 things for me. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.